Today, I'm going to teach you how to set a baseline budget for your wedding. My name is Heather, and I am a wedding planner. I help couples plan, design, and execute their unique weddings. And whether you're planning a DIY intimate event or a massively large, extravagant wedding, I'm here to help you plan your day. So hit subscribe and let's get started. Setting a budget is so incredibly important when it comes to planning your wedding day. It is going to guide you in terms of what you can and cannot afford, in terms of vendors you can and cannot hire, and how your overall wedding is going to plan out. And yes, pretty much any budget is possible, but when you have certain budgets, sacrifices need to be made. How can you get started planning if you don't even know what you can spend and where you can spend it? I suggest creating a baseline minimum. This number is the number you and your fiance can sit down with and talk with as a starting point. When I say baseline, I mean, yes, things could end up costing more. You could end up spending more, but you need to get a sense early on what the minimum amount you can do this wedding for actually is. And in order to come up with that number, it really is dependent upon your guest count. So if you're looking to set a baseline budget, here's what you're going to take your total expected guest count and multiply that number by anywhere between $250 and $450. $250 times your guest count, for example, is the baseline number that you're going to need in order to execute what I would refer to as a typical wedding. What do I mean when I say typical wedding? A wedding that does not involve DIY, does not involve vendors or pulling in favors. You are actually booking a venue, hiring a multitude of vendors, including a planner, a DJ, a band, a florist, live musicians, catering companies, hair and makeup artists, photography, videography, and so on and so forth. Yes, of course there are exceptions to this rule. There are absolutely the weddings that are considered DIY or are in your grandmother's backyard, or where you're having friends and family bring a potluck dinner, or where perhaps you're doing your own hair and makeup or having a buddy do your videography. But when we're talking about this equation for this baseline minimum, again, we're talking about what I will be referring to as a typical standard wedding with all the bells and whistles. Go ahead and take your expected guest count, multiply that number by anything from $250 to $450 to get your baseline minimum budget. I'd love to hear what number you came up with and how far off it is from what you were hoping to spend or what you had expected to spend, and put it in the comments below. If you're actually already married and you remember what you spent on your budget, I would love to hear if your number of guests times one of those numbers equaled to what you ended up spending on a wedding. Was it more? Was it less? Let me know. And if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe. I've got plenty of more videos like this one coming your way. Thanks, and have a great day.